Yeah, I think in many ways it's even better than the first time because I was just so blindsided by it last time. It was so surreal and it went by so quickly. This time I've had a little more time to enjoy it and I'm a little more accustomed to the idea. It takes a while to get used to your lifelong dream actually coming true. So as it turns out, about a year, and then everything starts to make more sense. It is. It's still. I think surreal is still definitely the word, though. It doesn't feel like as far as it is. If you told me I would be doing this when I was 20, I would have been stunned and amazed, and probably wouldn't have believed you. And in some ways, I still think that. But at the same time, it also feels like I haven't done enough yet. There's still a lot more work to be done, a lot more to be written, and it feels like I'm still just getting started. Right. Well, in the first book, Blood Oath, it's about Nathaniel Cade, a man who is turned into a vampire on a whaling vessel in 1867. And he's pardoned by the president on the condition that he work for the United States as sort of a supernatural secret agent. And in The President's Vampire, we pick up about a year later after he and his new official handler, Zach, have been given a new assignment. And this is about they're trying to stop the spread of a virus that changes people into truly horrific monsters. And as with everything, this is their job to hold back the invasion of darkness against the American dream, against the things in the light. That doesn't necessarily, the idea is that there's just other enemy out there to conquer and take over the world and reduce it to nothing, to destroy the human race. So pretty high stakes. Lucas Foster optioned the first book and the second book actually in a package deal, and he was the producer of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. He produced Man on Fire. Most recent movie was Law Abiding Citizen, and he's been working on a romantic drama for a while. But this is the next project in his lineup. So he as far as a week or so ago, as far as I know, there's not a lot specifically anything to say about it right now, except that it's still in development. And like in everything in Hollywood, it takes forever until suddenly it happens, and then it seems to happen all at once. I don't think anybody would probably take credit for me writing about vampires now, but there were two. I was a double major, so I think I can get two professors who were the most influential. I'll pick two. First was John Rember, who was the writer in residence at the college, and also my English professor, and really was a mentor to me. I started out pre-law, and he convinced me that the world didn't necessarily need me to be a lawyer, but I needed to write. And there were times financially I was not happy with him for helping me make it. He taught me a lot just about the need. In the end, it's really turned out to tell stories in a meaningful way. That the only way you can really make your life mean anything is to be able to tell it effectively as a story. And the other professor who had the biggest influence on me was Howard Berger. And Howard, the way I was introduced to Howard was at the end of freshman year, he came up to me right after I took my final in Western Civ and said, "I hear you're smart. Why aren't you in my History of American Ideas class?" And from then on, I took every class I could from Howard. He showed me the intellectual progression of ideas in America. And again, history major, not a huge earner as far as professions go, but it taught me the place and the importance of the culture and the history that lived. And I've managed to wrap everything that I've learned from both of them into books. And not many people get to say they get to actually use their major. I actually get to do that. I think the most important thing is that it crossbreeds ideas. You're literally forced to take classes you never would if you would just simply specialize. You have to get good at stuff you're not particularly good at. Dr. Jan Adams and her husband, Dr. Tim Sheeran, turned out to be some of the most vital stuff in the work I did as a crime reporter when I was still a journalist, and also in my fiction writing. And that's the thing, is that I failed for a long time. After I wrote my first script and sold it in record time, it was pretty much an unbroken string of bad meetings, bad producers, and never a paycheck at the end of the rainbow. You have to, I think if you're going to be a writer, you have to get used to the idea that you're going to fall down a lot. And the trick is to pick yourself up and get back and fail better the next time. That's all writing is. Every time you put something down on paper, it's never as perfect as it was in your head. And then once you get it down, you have to revise and rewrite until it's a little bit closer, but it's never exactly. Actually, it's the same thing with a career again, like an agent. You have to work so much harder. And there are so many people giving it away for free on the internet who are just writing blogs, who are putting together any kind of content. Your stuff has to be really, really impressive, really, really special, and really, really interesting to merit somebody actually plunking down money for it. In order to get people to pay for things, you have to tell them a story they haven't heard before. You have to tell them something they can't get anyplace else. As a writer, it's really tough to do that now, but it's worth the effort. It's worth the effort. I can't imagine doing anything else now. I plan on writing the series for a long time, pretty much as long as people keep buying it. I've got the first 10 books planned out. I think that's a pretty good round number. When my editor bought the idea, she wanted to see an outline of where it was going to go. So I've got 10 books pretty much lined out. The next book is set against the 2012 presidential election. This guy is sort of the embodiment of all those urban legends out there, from an unkillable man who lurks in the lover's lane and kills the teenagers. Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy. He's all of that wrapped into one, and he's called Boogeyman. And he decides that he's going to take out the President of the United States. And Kate has actually tangled with him over the years and has never been able to finish it. And because that's what this guy does, he always comes back. So Kate has to figure out a way to stop someone who can't be stopped. It's an irresistible force and an immovable object. And it's been a lot of fun.